Here's an early warning about a potential risk to mutual fund investors that is not widely understood. The risk was identified in the Federal Reserve Board's Financial Stability Report released on May 6th, and the topic of a May 20th speech by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. The Financial Stability Report was initiated after the debt crisis of 2008 and the Great Recession, and on May 6, 2019, the second annual Stability Report was released by the Federal Reserve. It concluded that the riskiest corporate borrowers in recent months have taken a surging amount of leveraged loans, but overall, no glaring risk threatens solvency of the U.S. financial system. Consequently, the 2019 Financial Stability Report was relegated to page B3 of the New York Times on May 7th, and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's May 20th speech received similarly scant coverage. But what's been missing in the coverage is that the Stability Report put in plain sight a hidden risk to investors. The Fed chief's speech and the 60-page Financial Stability Report reported a surge in the growth of leveraged loans to corporate borrowers who are already highly leveraged. Leveraged loans do not pose a risk to the nation's financial system, however, so the Fed is not alarmed by their frenzied growth. The Fed's two pronouncements taken together obliquely state the risk of leveraged loans will ultimately be borne by retail investors and hedge funds. Put simply, if the explosively growing pools of capital investing in leveraged loans were subject to more defaults than expected, retail investors would foot much of the bill. Like the mortgages at the center of the 2008 debt crisis, leveraged business loans are sliced into tranches and sold as collateralized loan obligations. Unlike the mortgage crisis, the Fed says leveraged loans are not owned by banks or insurers who took the losses in the debt crisis of 2008, which posed a systemic risk. While mutual funds and hedge funds are thought to be the investors in the surging market for CLOs, the Fed says information about this is incomplete. Taken together, Mr. Powell's speech and the Financial Stability Report are early warnings about a potential risk to investors that may be hidden inside mutual funds investing in leveraged loans.